And welcome to another episode of the Hammer Drops. I'm your host, Leak. So today we're going to talk about a few different things. I want to talk about the college football game that's coming up. I want to talk about the nonsense that's happening in Illinois with what they're trying to pull now with the election coming up. We're also going to talk about, the Epstein list. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. And probably some more shit, because that's just how we're going to fucking roll today. So, first and foremost, if you woke up this morning and you weren't enraged and spreading lies all over Twitter, then you probably saw and read the documents of the Epstein files and realized that Trump was never actually there. In court documents, it shows that Trump was never either at Epstein Island, on the plane, in a helicopter, in his house in New York, nowhere. Okay? But what you did see was Bill Clinton in all of those places. I mean, go figure, right? But, and see, here's the thing. The liberals are going with these AI-generated photos all throughout Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. They have these AI-generated photos with Trump and fucking Epstein in the same thing, showing these videos from like back in the 80s of all of this, okay? And they're butthurt because boy, they don't have Trump by the balls on this one anymore. So I find that really funny, and then other people that are on the list. I mean, I saw that Stephen Hawking was on the list, among a whole bunch of other people. Okay. And I'm sorry that this is the first thing we're going into, but I felt that this is pretty relevant and pretty important because, in my opinion, no matter if Trump was on that list, then I feel that he should be put in jail and tried to the full extent of the law and everything, just like I feel anybody that's on that list should. And he wasn't. So now the left and all the libtards out there are all pissy about it because, oh no, even though it was proven in the court in the documents that Trump was never there, you still have these quack jobs on Twitter that are being paid by the DNC, like JoJo and the Man Defiant or whatever, the Bitch Defiant guy, whatever the fuck his name is, that are spreading these rumors that, oh yeah, Trump was there. Trump is guilty of this. Trump is guilty of that. No, actually he's not. Remember when Jimmy Kimmel told Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers said, hey, it'd be interesting to see if you're actually going to be on the list, when that list comes out. And Jimmy Kimmel fires back saying that, that was reckless and this and that, which it was because Jimmy Kimmel, in fact, wasn't on the list. This one, anyways. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers should have probably kept his mouth shut, not knowing what he did. But on the same flip side, I mean, Jimmy Kimmel isn't a saint either. He's a womanizer. He's just a piece of shit remember what he said about all the unvaccinated? Like, if you're unvaccinated, then you don't deserve health care and this and that you should pretty much die, which I think is a lot worse. But, hey, that's just me. What do you think about it? So, but the big question with the Epstein list dropping yesterday, and I know there's a lot of people that are going through the 930 some odd pages of testimony and all that stuff. I know I was. And honestly, the stuff, when I started going through, it's like, okay, they're burying the stuff in here quickly. I mean, yeah, you can do the search with the, PDF and all that stuff for names, last names, stuff like that. But as I'm going through it, the thought came into my head was, what are they distracting us from? Why now? And then, are they distracting us from something that's going to happen? More, Biden shit. The list is long. I mean, we're in an election year now. So they're definitely trying to distract us from something, I feel. Because even the stuff that I was going through in the documentation was just kind of stupid and blah, just, okay, Makes no sense. So, but there's going to be those people that are going to be hard pressed to focus on those documents while other shit's going on. And that's not going to happen here, folks, because I'm not going to be that guy that gets suckered into focusing on the Epstein list when, I know, and most of my listeners know, that they're going to do shit about it anyways. So what the fuck's the point? So that brings us to, what are they preparing for? What are they hiding? What are they distracting us from? And then all of a sudden, my heart goes out to the people out there in Iowa for the school shooting. Once I get more information on that, or learn more information on that, I will bring that up in a next episode or so. But now you have that's going on. Now Illinois has decided to try to take Trump off the ballot, like many other Democratic states have, because of the 14th Amendment, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment about insurrection. Even though Trump was never there, he preached peaceful protesting. I mean, remember the summer of 2020 when the Democrats were saying peaceful protesting and they were burning our cities down? Biden was part of that, but yet that's not an insurrection, right? What about the insurrection that just happened at the White House with the Palestinian movement just the other night? That's another thing that just happened when all of a sudden the list drops. Yet nothing happens to those people because they tend to vote Democrat. But if you tend to vote Republican, now you're fucked, right? So I guess that's the double-edged thing here. But my whole question is with this whole thing that they got going on now with Trump in Illinois, that they're trying to take him off the ballot. And regardless, they're trying to do that in any other state. And it's a small group of people that are trying to do this. Okay, like 4 or 5 people. My question is how did those 4 or 5 people speak for me? They don't. And in my eyes, regardless of who I was going to vote for in 2024, whether it be Trump, whether it be, Vivek, whether it be DeSantis, why should somebody decide for me who can be on the ballot? I mean, doesn't that seem weird to any of you? I mean, that right there is the true definition of fascism, which they claim Trump is. They claim Trump and the MAGA movement and all that stuff were nothing but a bunch of fascists and this and that. But we're not trying to, take out our political opponents. We're not, who did that? Mussolini. You know who else did that? Hitler. Okay, fascists. So tell me who Trump has taken out. We've learned in the 3 years, almost 4 years now, that dipshit Biden has been in office, that he's not above using the FBI, using the DOJ to do his bidding, which he's clearly done. All the J6 people who peacefully protested, you can watch a video, they were escorted through the state capitol into doors. These people are being held in some pretty vile conditions, and the liberals think they all deserve it, okay? Which they don't. Nobody deserves that. I don't give a shit. Your crime. No. Let me retract. Let me bring this back here. If you're a piece of shit, you deserve it. But for people peacefully protesting, they don't deserve that. But you have all these people still waiting trial that have been on hold and ankle bracelets for over 400 and some odd days, 500 days. And yet the people on the Epstein list, like Bill Clinton, nothing. No charges been brought up, even though there's proof that he's been on the plane. Not been arrested. Nothing. Out of the 170 clients or 170 people that they're releasing, not one has been arrested. And you know damn well back when Trump was president, if they had, and they had all this information then, if they had anything on Trump then about the Epstein Island shit or Epstein or anything like that, Trump, it would have been brought forth then. Trump would have been impeached and Trump would have been thrown in jail for it. And yet that hasn't happened. So, again, that's just their way of playing. But for Illinois to do what they're doing, or any state to do what they're doing, by taking somebody off the ballot, and it's a bunch of Democrats doing this. So one political party is trying to remove the other political party, the leading opposition for their political party, to remove them from the ballot. That, folks, is fascism at its finest. And I would love to talk to any Democrat, Republican, liberal, whatever, that thinks otherwise. So if you think that that isn't fascism or fascist or anything like that, email me, layak@thehammerdrops.com. I would love to have you on the show to discuss this with you a little bit further. But, I put that out to so many people, and unfortunately, nobody on the liberal side or Democrat side has taken me up on the offer. So, and then other Illinois news. So it was a few days ago that people that own AR-15s must comply with the state of Illinois' anti-constitutional gun control bullshit. Where we had, people have to register the AR-15s. Well, apparently only 1.2% of people in the state of Illinois have actually complied. Bravo, Illinois. I want to say congratulations to the gun holders of Illinois for holding their ground against an unconstitutional law that fat fuck Pritzker tried to pass. Oh, and by the way, his brother was also on the Epstein list. He was also at Epstein Island. Pritzker's brother, Hyatt Regency, Mongol, he was there. So just to let you guys know. So with all this going on, it's, it's hard not to stay in the arena with, talking about this stuff, to bring this stuff to you guys, because, and I'm going to do my best to keep my promise to you and not keep it political all the time. And that's why I'm going to talk about other things outside of this. But this is my last thing that I'm going to talk about politically, I hope, is the reason why I bring this stuff to you is because this is very important, because you can't watch the news. You can't watch mainstream media. You can't. And now you can't even go on X and get legitimate news because it's overpowered by bots that are pushing propaganda for the left. I mean, there's even like on X, you can have profiles that claim that they're Republican or conservative that are pushing the propaganda of the left. So it's really bad. So, and that's why I'm going to continue bringing you guys this stuff, especially like today. I just saw this, and it was like an hour ago that, they're trying to take Trump off the ballot in Illinois. So I felt this was very important to talk about today. So now let's go to last week of football, professional and college. We got the college bowl game, championship game this Saturday. Or is it Saturday? Whatever the 8th is. January 8th, you got Michigan against Washington. I'm not a big Michigan fan. Never have been. I'm a fan of Harbaugh. I'm just not a fan of some of the guys that he got up there. So I'm going to go with Washington for that one. I like the underdog. I think they have a little bit more power to beat Michigan. So you heard it here first. I'm going with Washington, and if Washington wins, and if you use this to place a bet, I wish you luck, and I hope you win. But being from Illinois, now I gotta divert my. I need to divert my attention to, the last game of the season, Bears Packers. It's like the Super Bowl for us this season. And the reason why it is because we have the opportunity to knock Green Bay out of the playoffs. And I think with the way the Bears have been playing, Justin Fields is actually emerging as a great player, a great quarterback. It's starting to click. I know I was worried about it for a while, because he wasn't going through his progressions. He wasn't seeing everything, and now he's starting to see everything. But on the flip side, Jordan Love has been on fire the last 6 games. I think he's thrown for like 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns to 1 interception, where Fields has passed for 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, some shit like that. So, production is a lot more on the Green Bay side, but I think what Green Bay hasn't seen is the Bears' defense lately. And that defense is playing at an elite level. So, for the first time, one of the first times this year, I'm going to go with the Bears on that one. I think the Bears are going to upset Green Bay, and I think we're going to have a situation kind of how Detroit had, where last year Detroit kind of sucked, kind of like the Bears. They won minimal games like the Bears, but came out this year and just were pretty fucking dominant. I think that's going to be the same scenario with the Bears, so let's hope for it. So, yeah. So, and if you don't know yet, Social Distortion, Bad Religion, coming to Chicago, coming to Milwaukee. If you're a fan, even if you're not a fan of Social Distortion, but you like their music, you haven't been to their show or whatever, definitely go. Social D throws on one hell of a show. I would highly recommend. This would be one hell of a show, even though, again, I'm sure, with Bad Religion, the one thing I'm a little bit worried about with them is them crossing that political line, kind of like Green Day did the other day, on New Year's Eve, with changing, American Idiot to the MAGA agenda, which I think Green Day was kind of trending on shitty music as it is, and I think that just kind of fucked them. I get it. You did it because you got a new album coming out and you want to reach the younger generation, the Gen Zers, because they're fucking liberal and they're Democrats, so that's what you want to reach. But truth be told, folks, punk rock isn't about politics. It isn't about conforming and supporting one side. Punk rock is about going against the grain and speaking out against all of it. Well, we've seen that Green Day is obviously not punk rock. They're not punk. Sorry to burst your bubble there. But hey, if you liked this episode, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel on your favorite podcast platform, share it, leave me a review, give me a 5-star rating, help me get the show out to more people. Let's break those algorithms, and let's really push this into 2024 to bring the information to those that need it the most. Okay. I am happy to let you know that I will be having somebody come on the show to talk about alternative medicine, plant medicines, stuff like that, and their experiences with it. Again, if you want to come on to the show, feel free, send me an email, layak@thehammerdrops.com, or go to thehammerdrops.com, go to our website. You can contact us through there. Contact me through any one of the social medias as well. If you have something that you want to talk about, whatever, let's get you on the show. Let's hear what you got, and we'll go from there. All right. Until the next time, folks, peace out. Be good to one another.